What is up, all you Dolphins fans? It's the Miami Football Fanatic here again, and today I just want to talk about the Dolphins' quarterback situation, just how things are going to be looking moving forward. I'm going to be talking about Josh Rosen and if he is the guy for this season and beyond. So prior to the Dolphins matchup against the Cowboys, Josh Rosen finally got the go-ahead to lead the Dolphins' anemic offense. After Ryan Fitzpatrick struggled for the first 2 weeks of the season, I really thought it was going to be much later in the season. I thought Rosen was probably going to take over, somewhere after maybe week 8 or 7, something like that. But obviously, the Dolphins knew that they really needed a change. As I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he did struggle the first 2 weeks of the season, which obviously wasn't his fault at all. The O-line was completely horrible and was just giving up pressure constantly. Fitzpatrick couldn't make anything happen. And it was clear that the team, needed something. We needed a glimmer of hope to cling to, as the offense was unbearable to watch and resembled a high school team from Wyoming that hasn't done anything in 20 years. I mean, that was how bad the offense was. It just looked like a high school team that didn't know what they were doing. And it really was clear that something needed to be done, and that something was former 10th overall pick Josh Rosen. Apparently, the Dolphins liked what they saw, liked what they had been seeing from Rosen the past couple of weeks of practice, to give him the keys to the tank. Or maybe they had no other choice because how could things get worse after getting absolutely killed by the Ravens, by 49 points, and then getting shut out against their Patriots, 43-0. But from the outset, it was clear that the Dolphins had made the right decision, and Rosen may have been ready for the moment after sitting for a quick 2 weeks. Rosen, he came out making positive plays and decisions, and it really was clear that there was a big step up in talent from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Josh Rosen. He's a much more natural thrower of the football, and the ball just really pops out of his hand with ease. Now, it wasn't like the offense was outstanding. The first few drives were 3 and outs, mixed in with a missed field goal and an inability to convert on the goal line. We had 3 fresh downs, and I really got no idea why Chad O'Shea elected to run the ball 3 times there on the goal line. Ballage clearly isn't that kind of back, and we would have had a much better chance to run the ball. But that's that. We're on to week 4 now, so we can't harp on O'Shea's decision there on the goal line. But despite the offense's inability to score a touchdown, I saw many things from Rosen during the game that I definitely like. He's got a nice natural drop back, and he's got fluid footwork, and he's a natural athlete that does the little things with grace. His pocket presence is something that is incredibly refreshing. He's got that sense that all of the great ones have. He can feel and sense the pressure in the pocket very well. He does a great job stepping up in the pocket and eluding defenders that come downhill from any direction. This is something that we haven't seen in Miami for a very long time. Something that we definitely didn't see from Ryan Tannehill. And I'm sure there were quarterbacks. I'm not sure how Pennington was in the pocket. His pocket presence. I can't really remember at this point, but we haven't seen it for a long time. Rosen's performance was amendable, but far from perfect. He missed some easy layups that are, just must completions, and he stayed in the pocket multiple times for far too long. And overall, he could have been better with his decision making. But it was a small sample size. It was the first start of Rosen's career with the Dolphins, but it was an encouraging start against a very talented Dallas defense. This is a great Dallas defense. They were missing a couple guys. Robert Quinn did come back. Demarcus Lawrence played. Both their linebackers played, Smith and Van Der Esch. But I think Rosen overall did a decent job against a really good defense. What I enjoyed the most watching the game was the live, accurate the pocket presence, and just the overall ability to get the ball down the field and just actually make things happen when the pocket collapses. He throws the ball incredibly well on the run. It's very surprising. I didn't know that he could throw it that well on the move. The talent is obvious out there on the field, and I'm sure that Rosen will continue to improve as the season progresses. Now, the big question here with Rosen, is he the guy moving forward? Obviously, it's only been one game, and it would make no sense to make an assessment on Josh right now. But if he continues to improve and really gets his offense going, it can only benefit the team. If he is the franchise quarterback we've been looking for, this rebuild will be greatly accelerated. Obviously, if he proves he's a viable quarterback that can run an offense, he'll be a great trade piece for many years to come. Teams are always desperate for a good quarterback. Especially if they lose their starter and the season's on the line, teams can get real desperate real quick. And you saw the Colts traded for Jacoby Brissett a couple of years ago, and Jimmy Garoppolo was traded to the Niners. I'm not saying Rosen is in their league, but teams definitely can trade for a talented quarterback when they've got no other choice in the building. And we all know that the Dolphins are probably going to be taking a quarterback in the 2020 draft. You don't accumulate that many picks. We got 3 first-round picks, 2 seconds, 2 or 3 thirds. You don't accumulate that kind of capital the Dolphins have without the intent to select a potential franchise quarterback, whether that's Tua, whether that's Jake Fromm, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. There's a number of guys there, and I'm sure that the Dolphins are probably going to be taking one of those guys in the draft in 2020, and I'm sure it's probably going to be Tua, or it's too early in the process now, but everything we've been hearing, the Dolphins really love Tua Tagovailoa, and I think he's a great, talented quarterback. Another reason why it's a positive to have Rosen around is his salary. The Arizona Cardinals paid off his signing bonus, which was like $11 million or $12 million or something like that. So they've paid the majority of his contract for the next 3 years. He's on average to be making about $2 million. So he's going to be a viable, affordable backup quarterback, a guy who can step in if the starter does get injured. I mean, he possibly could be the starter moving forward, but if he's the backup, he's a great option for us there. He's cheap and he's talented, so it's a win-win for us. And just whatever happens with Rosen, I'd hate for his career just to go down in flames. Like, if he regresses and doesn't show improvement, I really hope that he continues to improve for the Dolphins and be the quarterback that he potentially was going to be coming out of UCLA. As we all know, he's a talented quarterback, and hopefully he can be a nice quarterback for us moving forward, whether it's as a backup or a starter. Okay, that's it for this video. Obviously, Rosen, it's going to be week to week evaluating this guy. Next week he could put up an absolute stinker. He could, be sacked 5 times and just, not get the ball out and just be inaccurate. We could hate him next week, but from what we saw against Dallas, it was encouraging. And this guy, as I said, he's talented, and he really does have all the makings of a starter in the league. He's got the intelligence, the arm. He's just got to show now that he can be a leader, and he's got to show that he can master this offense. This offense that O'Shea has brought from the Patriots is just incredibly just detailed and complex. It takes a while just to get a handle on, just all the components of the offense, whether it's the protections, whether it's the defensive alignments, whether it's, identifying the Mike linebacker, something that Rosen didn't really do well against the Cowboys. He didn't do it consistently, but just learning all the concepts and everything, it's going to take him a little while. And I'm really confident as the season goes on that Rosen can continue to improve. That's it for this video. Hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon for another video. It's been a long time since my last video, but just been busy with life and things, and really want to get some consistent content out there for you guys, as there's a lot of things to talk about the Dolphins, especially with the draft coming next year. So as always, keep it tuned to the channel. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment if you want, if you agree with what I said. And as always, fins up, baby. Even though this season is a tank job. See you, folks.